I'm recording this podcast, but I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. Right now, it's in the afternoon, and I know that this morning, today, but in the morning, this morning, I had a few ideas about things to talk about, but now I've either forgotten those ideas or the few that I remember, the few ideas which I still remember from this morning, they don't seem to me to be such good ideas. Now I can't really see the worth. Now I can't really see why I thought there were such good ideas for a podcast. I can't see what I would talk about. They don't seem very worthwhile talking about. But so I was unsure if I would record this podcast. So as you can hear, I ended up deciding to do it. I ended up deciding to go ahead with it, to record it, but without any real idea of what this episode is going to be about. And I think there are two different views, two different opposing views about how to approach creating something like a podcast. There are people who think everything has to be very well planned. You have to plan and think through. Before recording, you have to think through the thing you're going to record. You're going to have to think through what you want to say, what you want to talk about in the podcast. Or it could be anything. A YouTube video, writing an essay. There's a lot of people who think you need to plan very well what you're going to do. And then there's the other view that the best approach, the best way to approach something like this is just to start. Even if you can't really think of anything, just start doing it and you'll come up with something good to talk about. Not just that you'll come up with something, but what you come up with will be somehow better, somehow more natural than anything you can plan in advance. In advance, that means anything you can do in preparation for something else. You can get everything ready to record a podcast in advance instead of waiting till the last minute, instead of waiting until you're ready to record to try and come up with something to talk about. You can in advance, long before you start recording, you can try and come up with a theme that the podcast will be about. You could brainstorm, take a piece of paper and try and write down any ideas that come to you. You could brainstorm podcast themes in advance. So different people have different views about which is the best approach for creative things, I guess, when you're trying to create something like a podcast or a YouTube video or a short story or a piece of writing. There's people who put more value on who put more value on planning, and others who put more value on spontaneity, being spontaneous, you know? People who think you get better results when you don't plan too much, when you allow yourself to come up with things on the run, come up with things while you're already doing it. I don't know. I don't know what my position is. I don't have a strong view because I've been doing these podcasts only for less than a month, but I've been doing the YouTube channel and making YouTube videos for over half a year, maybe 8 or 9 months, and I've tried various approaches. I've tried making videos with a lot of planning, with a lot of plans for what the video was going to be about. I've tried making videos where I planned a lot in advance. So long before I start recording the video, I plan what it's going to be about, the theme, the topic. I plan what I'm going to say in it. For a few of the videos, I even did a script, which means I planned word for word. I wrote a script. I planned word for word. I wrote every word that I was going to say in the video while recording. I wrote all the words in advance before recording. So I did that a few times. The extreme planning, the most planning you could do of writing word for word what you're going to say. But a lot of other videos that I've recorded, I didn't plan at all. In the last minute, not in advance, in the last minute, when I was about to start recording the video, I tried to come up with some idea of what I was going to talk about in the video, and then I recorded it, coming up with whatever I could come up with, talking about whatever came to mind, and drawing, because in the beginner videos I draw pictures to help the viewer understand what I'm saying, drawing whatever comes to mind, drawing whatever I can think of that I think might make what I'm saying easier to understand. And so it's completely spontaneous. I didn't plan at all. I came up with an idea to talk about at the last minute before recording, not in advance. And most of the videos is a mix. There's a bit of planning, but not much, and still a lot of spontaneity. There's still a lot of things I come up with on the fly. On the run, I don't know. I come up with while I'm recording, in the moment, without any forethought, without any planning in advance. And both approaches have produced good results. I think out of all the videos I've made, well over 100 now. Well over means not just a bit over, but a lot over. More than just a bit over. You know, it's not just 101 or 102 videos, but it's something like, I think, 130 videos now, So I've produced well over 100 videos, and I have a few favorites. There's a few videos which I think were very good, which I think I did very well. They were the sort of video which I think I would like every video to be. And a few of them I did with a lot of planning, but also a few of my favorites were without any planning. So I couldn't come to a conclusion. I could never come to a conclusion about which was better, which approach was better. I could never decide if I should just plan all the videos very well, or if I should do every video without planning, completely spontaneous. I could never come to a clear view of which approach was the better one. So, I don't know. I don't have a clear position. So, anyway, tell me in the comments what you think. I think everyone has an opinion whether planning or spontaneity is better. Everyone has a personal approach, a personal style, and either they like to plan a lot, plan very well, plan in detail, plan out every detail of something they're going to do, or they're more spontaneous and they like to just try something, just do it and see how the results are without much planning. And I think everyone has opinions about this, because it's not just for podcasts or YouTube videos, it's for everything. All sorts of things that people do in their lives every day can be done with a lot of planning. They can be well planned. You can, in advance, you can plan out the steps that you're going to take to do something, to achieve something, to finish it, to get it done. Or you can just do it. You can just not plan much and start and figure out things as you go along. Figure out things as you go along. Figuring things out as you go along without much planning. So tell me what your opinion is in the comments. All right, see ya.